Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the beneficent, the helper, the omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, creator, master, protector, saver, supreme commander of the whole world. Students of this, especially that school country, you know properly about Hazrat Nuh al-Islam. Nuh al-Islam, especially that school boat, ship is especially oil damaged by the help of especially that school human being. But it was not broken. But you know properly how especially it was repaired again, whatever it might be. In the and that this particular is a person, Noor Islam, who had 4 sons and who got his hayat 1400 years in mundane world, but especially 3 sons of him got opportunity to become a Muslim, and only one son, he could not especially be Muslim. He disliked to trust his Islam. He followed his mother. His mother also distrusted Islam, and he himself. For this is the reason, and mother is especially Noor Islam wife could not go to grave with Iman. As you know, 5 things stays at the hand of Allah, we cannot deny. If Allah dislikes anyone, there is no any way on the part of him or her to be good. In the khutbah you are getting, Allah says, if Allah wishes to make a man or woman who is especially going to be bad to worst to worst, if Allah wishes to bring him or her back from that is life, he can't be good, can't change himself. If Allah dislikes, there is no any way on the part of especially him or her to return from that particular especially sector and section. Whatever it might be, I am very especially afraid to discuss this particular point about his human luck. Lut al-Islam, who got hayat more than 1300, but his wife is disliked to obey him. In this particular period, adulteration started severely and seriously, and humanity damaged is especially damaged, and especially the humanity of man and woman collapses down. On that particular time, Ajab Gajab came from the court of Almighty. But you know properly, another is a person, especially Karun, who showed his credit, getting core, especially core and core is the good ounce of, gold. This particular is Karun could not keep his word with Musa al-Islam. For this reason, of course, Karun was destroyed. In the that especially from the very beginning of this world, Allah especially sent many prophets of Islam, and especially for not obeying the command of Allah, public, man, woman were destroyed totally. You know, Jinjati were destroyed thrice. We cannot deny this thing. And Jinjati especially that is called, the gate is a long hayat, not a small hayat. But in especially long hayat, they could do nothing, because especially they passed their time period, second moment, desperately, whatever they like, in the and that they brought their destruction. Azazil, you know, Azazil especially was angel is especially instructor, and he became his supreme commander of angelic staff, is core and core angels of the world, who did his amol and ibadat 70,000 bachar. But especially his downfall also came last and final. And still is now he himself as well as his descendants are suffering much. So especially let us pray together so that we must not go to astray. Amra jeno bibodgami na hui. We must not do whatever we like most. And especially if any person especially performs this task, of course, at the day of last judgment, angel will especially call who are Benomaji separated. The person especially who are adulterer, who did his adulterous action is in mundane world, you will be separated. But seal will be given on their forehead. Public would be able to understand this group of people, both men and women, are engaged in adulteration. And the person especially who take this profession performing their task connection, what will happen to their fate except Allah, none control. I have no power at all to give any decision to any person. Allah will take a step for his banda bandi. Whatever might be, and especially that is the action what is being forbidden by Allah, man should not especially that is do this action. But if any person may be man or woman, of course it is getting, if he or she likes that is called ugly action, not good action, it is impossible on the part of his or her parents to especially separate him, or especially from his life. Suppose wife is especially that is loose moral person and husband is good moral person, but if wife is performs lose morality with some other person, husband cannot control. On the other hand, if husband is especially characterless person, wife is a good, gentle, polite, magnanimous, tajud gujari, reader of Quran, performer of special Ramjan, doer of good activities and action, but especially husband is a licentious man, lumpot. And in this particular case, the wife may pray to the court of Almighty, but she cannot guide him in which way, but she can only perform one task, pray to the court of Almighty. Allah it is the will of Allah. Allah may grant, may not grant, but none can compel Allah to do anything. Good news is for Muslim community that if we do any wrong, if we shed tears to the court of Almighty, if we do not perform the same wrong, same work, same action, same ugly action, etc., Allah is forgiver. But especially biological bad action which is going on around us in the society wholesale rate, it has become impossible on the part of our conscious people and person to control it. I told my students, except Almighty Allah, no one would be able to control this action. Except Almighty Allah, accept the power of Almighty Allah, the action, what is going on here and there, this and that, this side and that side, this corner, that corner, pros and cons, out in ins, it is uncontrollable matter. But who can control it? Only Allah can control it. No president, no powerful man, no justice, especially high-ranking is a person, no one would be able to control it. Whatever it might be, how many people will you control? But Allah can control this thing, especially within twinkle of eye, as especially Allah cleaned that particular ship of Noah al-Islam within very shortest time. By washing especially this particular, just the biggest is about 600 is especially that is called, I forgot is 600 lamba, 600, just is especially hat, 18 inch. Another thing is that is a 400 ফুট 400 হাত প্রশস্ত এবং 350 হাত নিচের দিকে, অর্থাৎ যাকে বলা হয় যেটা উপর থেকে শুরু করে নিচের দিকে এত বিশাল মাপের একটা কিস্তি আল্লাহ তৈরি করতে বলেছিল। অফকোর্স নো, বাট ইন দিস অ্যান্ড দ্যাট স্পেশালি দি পিপুল বাই বিং অ্যাংরি out of is jealous, they perform their task, respond to their natural call, coming here by being together group after group, etc. But the person who would not do this action, then and there he was given serious beating, he or she. For this reason, willingly, unwillingly, they were bound to respond their natural call here. Allah is clean to see this thing, of course, especially by the mercy of Almighty Allah. Countless people who got total recovery from their disease, but last and final, this person, especially Noah al-Islam, went to them and said, since Allah showed mercy towards you, you are cute person at prison and come to justice, especially that is called here, and Allah will protect you from the hand of danger. They said, because of this section is especially wholesale rate and quote unquote people perform this task, especially mingling this thing, these special materials became like a medicine. So by getting medicine, public became cured. and they denied the mercy of Allah. Whatever might be, কপাল যদি পোড়া হয়, ভাগ্য যদি ভালো না হয়, অনেক কাছের মানুষও পারে না। I should share with you something. No change will come that you are getting as species that is called properly in Surah Lahab. Allah cursed is species Lahab. By this is Surah we are getting. And Abu Jahl suffering, of course, other is the people who did pervert trust connection. The man is who killed Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. The person who secreted separated is especially the holy head of Imam Hassan, Imam Hossein. Poison is giver Jaida became is successful last and final. First time she could not be successful. Second time she could not. Third time she could not. Probably she became successful. Fourth time by applying the poison to kill her innocent is the husband. But dear learners and listeners who are listening here and there, such kind of especially husband will not come in mundane world. বলেন তো আপনারা, বিশ্বনবীর নাতি মতো এরকম ব্যক্তিত্ব পৃথিবীতে কি আরেকজন আছে? ওনাদের দুই ভাইয়ের মতো নেই। You will not be able to get is anywhere. Getting such kind of especially that qualified is a husband, loving husband, good husband, gentle husband, polite person, generous person, and especially this and that uncomparable personality. But of course especially that is called Jaida could not be happy. Jaida wanted to get more hot. She wanted to get husband home, that you are getting Ajit. But of course did Ajit marry? Did Ajit marry Jaida? Could he trust especially Jaida? Jaida, when he came before Ajit, Jaida said, Ajit said, could you perform your task? Yes, your majesty. Did you kill my enemy? Yes, your majesty. I did this action. Did he do any wrong issue with you? No. Was he your enemy? No. Then why did you kill him? He was my enemy, it is sure, but why did you kill him? But did you, in the chant that he asked especially Jaida thousands of questions, Jaida said especially he was totally innocent, is a person, he especially that is called, he likes us very much, his love, attraction, affection, etc. especially that is called, I got is everything quite right. And especially probably this is said, are you dissatisfied is because of his personal ability? Are you dissatisfied is especially because of his personal ability? Did he make you hungry in this sector and section? Are you not? Could you not coincide physical thirst by getting this husband? Yes, I got his physical thirst by getting this husband. Was he weak and tired? Was he sick person? Was he just especially unable to perform this task connection is with you that you became a bitterest enemy of this person? No. He had no any shortcoming. Outwardly he had no any shortcoming. Inwardly he had no shortcoming. And his behavior, especially what I got, I cannot compare this thing with anyone. But especially that is called a lady may kill her husband for some reason. First reason may be justice without getting biological satiety. Second reason is that especially if the husband is working natured person. Third reason is that if husband is not economically fit. Fourth reason is that if the husband is mad and especially out of control. Another reason you are getting if the husband is drug addicted. Another reason you are getting if husband especially addicted is to other women. If husband especially used to go to other women to quench his biological thirst. And if he especially there is called you are getting, if he becomes a man prostitute to go to woman prostitute, etc. in the chant that there are some causes especially for which women may take decision to change husband. But you did not change husband, you killed him. What kind of action have you done? Was he your enemy? No. Then why did you do it? To become a wife of Ajit, to become wife of Ajit. How can Ajit trust you? Ajit also showed his logical point of view, last and final. There is no any want of justice, handsome young man in this society. There is no any want of especially beautiful lady in this society. So today I allude you, I allude you to kill especially your husband, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, after some days, you may get more handsome than I myself, more powerful, etc. This and that. On that time, you may also kill the life of Ajit. Jada could say nothing because Jada hadn't any supporting sentence. Her words might be in the and that the life of Jada was ended. Imam Hassan Hussain, you are getting in this particular day. We pray to the God of Almighty. Therefore, the people who are living in this society, both men and women. Women are most important part of this society. Men are also important part. Women is not less important than men. Women has equally right and responsibility that it is getting, and especially that is called if there has been any friendship between them, proper friendship, appropriate friendship, mutual understanding to understand each other, this and that, of course it is getting fear of Allah. On that is the time conjugal life will be happy. There are other things, especially to become happy in conjugal life, husband and wife should have equal biological power. And if husband and wife, especially wife is remain hungry, if especially her hunger cannot be quenched by husband, on that is the time wife may share to her husband to go to doctor to take treatment in the field of especially science and technology. By taking treatment is especially a weak husband maybe strongest one in the society and world. But question is that is especially that is called they can share this thing together, etc. Conjugal life is not especially by fighting in conjugal life. You cannot especially that is called be জোর করে আরেকজনের কাছ থেকে কোনো কিছু কেড়ে নেওয়া যায়, কিন্তু জোর করে ভালোবাসা পাওয়া যায় না. Love cannot be obtained, of course it is getting by the help of by enforcing, but you are getting especially different kinds of love. Commercial love is seen especially in the commercial section. Acting love is also seen especially in acting action. You are getting, and exhibitory love can be seen is especially here and there. Artificial love can be seen is of course it is getting, and where there is a real love means real attraction for each other, this and that, such kind of especially personality can be happy. But if the husband and wife both of them are over greedy, they cannot be happy. If husband and wife would have especially licentious nature, reciprocating love affair husband is reciprocating love affair more than half dozens of ladies, wife is also doing the same action, and both of them started their competition to perform this task connection. So is it ever possible on the part of them to become happy? Obviously not. However, might be I discussed something this thing especially for adult personality. I discussed this thing in my BCS base, happiness and unhappiness in conjugal life. Let me come to the point what I wanted to discuss before you, that you are getting, and especially what is the cause of weakness in English. You may especially that skill try your best to know from my discussion, and you may especially search this thing Rahmat's Sar English Education. Rahmat's Sar English Education. You can search it especially in this way to get this idea. All classes of student and person who are adult, they are requested to listen who have understanding power. Beside and moreover, the person who are married lady, married man, bachelor, spinster the other classes of person. Of course, you must understand this is something Islamic task connection which will be helpful for you to become happy here and hereafter. Now, most important point, the main cause of weakness in English in Bangladesh I should share with you. So far I know, but if there has been so many persons in the society, here and there, this and that, you can also especially add your opinion. I have no objection is settled, but East India Company came to this country 16 especially century. East India Company, of course, for the purpose of special business, they came from England. England is nothing but an island. Island, you are getting three parts: England, Ireland, Scotland. and especially this and that, this particular is island, everywhere is especially around the island we are getting water, but this particular is a special place. Of course, many years ago, this place, these countries, were inundated, plavito chilo, water, but by the mercy of Almighty Allah, they got this special biggest island, and this particular island is not small in size, turns into three countries. In this is the country we are getting famous universities of the world: Oxford University, Cambridge University, Oxford University, Edinburgh Medical University, and especially that is called other is sector and section. Many people of the world globally, they come to this country to get degree from this institution. Besides and moreover, the person who are interested to complete their barrister, they are coming here. It is called, I think you have understood this matter, Lincoln Inn. There are three inn. इन अर्थ हलो सराइखाना और इन अर्थ हलो तुम्हार যারা তোমরা শুনতেছ ছাত্ররা, সেটা হলো যেখান থেকে ব্যারিস্টারের ডিগ্রি কমপ্লিট করা হয়, INN. From here you can easily complete your especially bar law. After the completion of your honors from any university of Bangladesh, you can fly Lincoln Inn. Other two inns, of course, you can get admitted yourself. But you should have sharp SC quality, international standard SC quality since your childhood. Then especially the courses can be completed in time. Then they will confer you this degree. You can go anywhere of the world accordingly. Some especially personality of Bangladesh, of course, they join in Dhaka High Court, Supreme Court, Judge Court. They are performing their business. You are getting in Kolkata High Court. You are also just getting the person who completed their bar law from Lincoln Inn from England. Besides and moreover, throughout the whole world, there are so many barristers. Of course, there is completing. So the language of English is spread throughout the whole world. In Greater India, 190 years it continued. Overgreed cannot be helpful, of course I should share, but they brought this language for the people of Greater India. Indian people learn this thing. Though some Muslim people used to say to learn English is haram. To learn English means to become a Christian. But obviously, it is a wrong conception, of course, it is getting. However, it might be such kind of wrong conception, it should not be brought. But of course, English is the man, English is the woman, became too much greedy. They were not needy, they were greedy. What was their greed? To get power and position. They shook hand, especially that is called with Robert Clive. They shook hand, we are getting Hoshiti Begum. They shook hand, especially other faithless traitor, we are getting. In which and that they wanted to get the power of this country. But it is sure that is special Robert Clive, who studied up to class 8. He could understand this matter. Among the especially people, high-ranking people under Shiraj-ud-Dawla, we are getting especially many conspirator, machinator, intrigue maker, and greedy for power, position, gold, ornament, pearl, uranium, other things respectively. And especially Englishmen could understand it will be easy on the part of us to occupy the power of this country. However, might be counted as special learners of this country, in 1757, the Battle of Palachi took place. Before it is especially, Mir Jafar Khan shook hand with Robert Clive that he will help him in the time of his battlefield. Countless special fighters are standing like statues that didn't especially come in order to fight. Of course, you are getting Mir Jafar Khan especially conspiracy that compelled Shiraz to fall down especially from his power and position. But English is a special men were very clever, cunning, made Mirza Abdul Khan is as their Nawab, of course, supreme power was staying is at their hand. But the especially Englishmen is came to Bangladesh, Greater India, to teach especially this language is our forefathers, ancestors, and who are surviving in this is the country. They also justice especially that is called wanted to take away and their taught language. তারাই শিখালো, তারাই ষড়যন্ত্র করে আমাদের কাছ থেকে তাদের ভাষাটা কেড়ে নেওয়ার চেষ্টা করলো। Of course, when this battle was seen, Muslim community became very afraid. They could understand this matter. Christian are conspirator. English is the men and women are conspirator, intrigue maker, worthless people, hypocrite, criminal. That for this reason they began to distrust them. They began to distrust English civilization as well as not only this but also especially they began to disbelieve them, and they began to hate their language. They began to hate their language. They avoided, especially in the greater Indian people tried their best to avoid their language, to avoid English civilization, to reject their behavior, to reject their culture, nature, nurture, etc. This and that, of course, and especially they made a colony in this country. Imperialistic view, of course, can be seen here. Robert Clive could understand this matter. He told himself, you the guy indicated Mirza Abdul Khan, you betrayed with your people. It will not take a long time for you to betray with us. Therefore, this statue Nawab especially was kicked down especially, and this particular vagabond, uncivilized, barbarized, man-shaped beast, this and that. Of course, Mirza Abdul Khan who touched the Quran and promised Nawab, I shall stay beside you, I shall never betray with you. Shiraz said, especially not only you are my chief of army staff, but also you are my especially kith and kin. You are my guardian, you are my relative, you especially may judge me after this liberation is war, but don't betray. But Shirazdullah was not a child of study, though he was killed at the age of 25, but his understanding power was especially that is quite accurate. He also suspected especially Mirza Abdul Khan, suspected especially that is called his followers, yet he could do nothing against them. When Mirza Abdul Khan trusted the Holy Quran and said, I am always especially ready to sacrifice my life for you, for your country, and for the betterment of this country. Shiraz, Your Honor, Shiraz, Your Excellency, Shiraz, don't distrust me, don't disbelieve me. In simple faith, having his suspicion in mind, of course, Shiraz was bound to trust especially Mirza Abdul Khan. It was his gross mistake. His mistake especially brought his downfall, suffering through distress, agony, pain. Thus, the independence of this country had already been dropped down. English civilization justice especially started Operation Depression. It is being watched, of course, the people of this land, greater India, they began to hate them, and especially as far as they could, they especially, of course, they they began to dislike their language. Since they began to that is called especially dislike their language, of course, many of them, many Hindu community, Muslim community, so many persons of this greater India. For this reason, especially weakness, the seed of weakness was shown on that time. দুর্বলতার বীজ তখনই বপন করা হলো। Dear learners, I told you the cause of weakness is in English in Bangladesh. Of course, I should share. Our forefathers, especially in Bangladesh, used to tell to learn English means to become a Christian. Don't trust the English man because their faithless trait or their betrayer. And in this and that, if you learn their language, our Maulana said, will be Christian, so avoid it. Watching especially that is called getting such kind of situation, of course, there is getting superstition, and the people of this land, they began to just mistrust them. they began to disbelieve is English when we are is getting, and in which and that special weakness of student is increased in this is the country, and it is the first part of weakness is I should share with you something in which and that there are so many causes of weaknesses in English is of course we cannot blame the innocent people of our country who are living in different villages and rural locality. Of course, there is getting the people who are living in poverty, cosmopolitan city, metropolitan city, of course, there is getting, and especially for the weaknesses of English and fail at the examination. Only justice, they are not responsible. So many persons who are responsible. I am interested to reveal this thing before you one after another.